What's up, YouTube? Your boy back with another sport topic, and we gonna recap and break down and talk about the Houston Texans versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, the season opener. You see the hat, you know who I'm rocking with. You know it's a Texan fan over here. And by the way, I'm sitting here laughing. You probably like, well, maybe he recorded this before the game. No. This is after the season opener. This is after the 29-7 loss. And the reason why I'm laughing, were you surprised? Were you surprised? I wasn't surprised. This is the reason why I'm laughing, because everything that I've been saying for months and weeks now all came to fruition. Everything I've been saying. I've been saying for weeks that we need to quit playing around and bring Dwayne Brown back. We need to do with whatever Dwayne Brown's asking for, go ahead and make him come back, because this offensive line is trash, grade A, garbage, hot garbage. Without Dwayne Brown. This is just point blank period. And I've been saying this for weeks also. Since training camp, Deshaun Watson needs to be the starting quarterback for the Houston Texans. He needs to start, go ahead and take his lumps now, because if you wait too long, he takes lumps at the end of the season, you still crapping your season. And I've been saying this for months, that the worst decision that the Texans made was letting A.J. Bouye walk out that door in the offseason. That was the worst offseason move they made. I've been hollering that for months. I've been saying all these things, video after video. I said this about Tom Savage, that I think he's a prototypical backup quarterback. Yes, when your starting quarterback gets hurt and he has to play, he'll do well. But he's not going to lead you anywhere. He's not going to lead you to the playoffs. He's not going to win you games. He's definitely damn sure not going to win you a championship. So there's no reason why we sitting here playing with this man and letting Deshaun Watson sit on the bench to watch what? Mediocrity? That makes no sense. What is he learning? He's learning how to be mediocre? That's what you want him to do? That makes no sense. But this is not a rant, because I'm not surprised, because I'm not mad, because I'm not surprised. I didn't think it was going to be this bad. I did not was going to believe it was going to be this bad. And the only thing that does irritate me, that it was a divisional loss. So we're down in divisions, because as you know, even though the Colts and the Titans both lost, the Texans are last place in the division because we have a divisional loss. Jacksonville has a divisional win, and they play the Titans next week. And they might have the best defense in the NFL. But more on that in a little bit. Let's see here. Let's break it down. Like I was saying about Deshaun Watson and Tom Savage, I like both of them. I think that Deshaun Watson needs to be the starter. Just point blank clear. He's the better player. Stop playing around. When he came in, the offense moved better. Yes, I know they probably playing in prevent defense, but the offense looked better. They allowed 10 sacks. So 10 sacks. That front seven is not that good. They're a legitimate defense. Yes, they are the 6th ranked defense in the NFL last year. And like I just said, they might be the #1 defense. But I think this is the best defensive performance they're going to have this season. That's just, I don't think that their defense is going to be that great like how they look today. Because I don't think that front seven is going to look that damn good. But this paper-mache offense line, that's the reason why they look that damn good today. I stated this. I think that defense is going to disappoint people. Like, as far as the front seven, the secondary, no, the secondary is legit. That's a legitimate secondary. That is a legit, cold-hearted secondary. No bullshits about that. That is a legitimate secondary. But I do think that, let's put everything in perspective. We had 4 turnovers, 3 fumbles. Actually, Tom Savage had 3, but one of them got called back because the football was still in his hand. But they both got ran back for touchdowns. And then Deshaun Watson's pick and Deshaun Watson's fumble, they were already down 26-7 and like 26-7. Like the game was clearly over, because once Deshaun Watson scored a touchdown coming out at halftime, if the defense would have made a stop when it was 19-7 and got the ball back to Houston, completely different ball game. I'm not saying if Deshaun Watson would have started that the Jacksonville would have lost and Texas would have won, but it would damn sure would have been a different game. It wouldn't have started off 19-0. It wouldn't have started off like that. The game would have been very, very different, because Savage is a sitting statue back there. He sits there and holds onto the ball. And you can't do that with this weak-ass offensive line. Against that secondary, you can't. Now, on that secondary, a lot of people in the message boards, when I was talking about A.J. Bouye, the day A.J. Bouye signed to Jacksonville, I'm like, this is bad. I thought that he was going to sign with the Titans. Titans had a lot of money to give up. The Titans have the best quarterback in the division to me in Marcus Mariota. And that also, they definitely need a corner. And they're going to be able to pay big money. And he would be the star corner of that defense. That's what I thought he was going to do. And if he did come to Houston, I want him nowhere in the division. But if he stayed in the division, I hope that's where he went to instead of Jacksonville because of Jalen Ramsey. A lot of people are like, well, they still got Blake Bortles. It don't matter. With him, the Jaguars are just like the Texans. They're a legitimate defense with quarterback questions. They are the Texans of the past 3-4 years. Up until we see what we have in Watson, they are what the Houston Texans have known to be, and to this point still are. The legitimate defense with a question mark at quarterback. Now, their quarterback play with Blake Bortles is bad, but it didn't look all that bad there because they didn't really put the ball in his hands. But that defense is legitimate, especially with those two corners, because they can easily lock up anybody. And a lot of people are like, oh, man, like, he's just one hit wonder. It was the defense. It was the scheme. Kevin Johnson's better. Kevin Johnson's coming back. Stop that. I like Kevin Johnson. He a Texan. I like him. A.J. Bouye is a better cornerback. Just if you believe that Kevin Johnson is a better quarterback than A.J. Bouye, you're only basing it off of A.J. Bouye being an undrafted free agent and Kevin Johnson was a 16th overall pick in the first round in 2015. That's it. That's it. Because he was their first round pick, they let him play in the nickel. But when he gets hurt and they put in A.J. Bouye, A.J. took snaps away from Kareem Jackson and made Kareem Jackson be on the bench, and he moved up and took snaps away from Kareem Jackson. And then after that, after he took snaps from Kareem Jackson, he took first number one overall receiver responsibility away from J-Joe. J-Joe didn't cover the number one receiver last year. A.J. did. So he moved up. He went from being a nickel. When the injury came in, he went from being a nickel to taking Kareem's spot as a starter and then take overranking J-Joe as far as taking on the toughest receiver. That's it was his task, to take on the toughest receiver. So all this, he do all this tugging and tagging. He was doing that against us. He was doing that with us just like he was doing that today against Jacksonville. Yeah, that's part of his game. Yeah, he gonna get you. He gonna give you some penalties. But he ain't gonna give him no big plays. He might give up pass interference here and there. He might get some home calls because he's a very aggressive cornerback. But he's a legitimate shutdown quarterback. Now, let's talk about the receivers. Because also, there's another thing. The receivers were iffy out there because Strong suspended. Braxton Miller come off an injury. Will Fuller still injured. All you have is Hopkins. Hopkins get paid all this money. Hopkins getting paid like a number one receiver. Like the best receiver in the league. He's the highest paid receiver when it comes to guaranteed money. Deserves every single dollar. But you got to play better. The first play of the game, well, not the first play, the first pass of the game, that should have been, it's like a 20, 35-yard catch. Over Ramsey. He drops it. Hopkins dropped 3 or 4 passes today. Y'all want to bash Will Fuller, but y'all want to ride Hopkins. Hopkins drop passes too. He don't drop them often. Will Fuller drops way more passes, way more often. I understand that. And Hopkins is way more sure-handed than Will Fuller. He has one of the best hands in the league. I understand that. But fair is fair, right is right. If you're going to call Will Fuller on his drop passes, you got to call Hopkins on his. And the last time Hopkins was dropping wide open passes, you know who they was playing against? Jalen Ramsey and the Jacksonville Jaguars. He dropped 2 touchdowns in that game. One was in the end zone, and one, if he would have called it, he would have been in the end zone because it would have been like on the 5 or 6, and he would have had Ramsey beat if he would have caught onto it, or at least would have got inside the 5. If Ramsey would have been able to keep on him to tackle him. So you got fair is fair. Another thing that I called when I did my AFC South predictions, I said that Leonard Fournette was going to be the Rookie of the Year. I also say this, that I thought Leonard Fournette had big bust qualities on him as well. But I wouldn't be surprised if Leonard Fournette was a bust. That wouldn't surprise me if he was. But I thought the Jacksonville, because they don't trust Blake Bortles, they would definitely put the ball in Leonard Fournette's hand. And Leonard Fournette was smashing and bashing on this Houston Texans defense. I don't know why they came out sluggish, but the drive that hurts the most, because actually the first drive I think they caught them off guard, but after that they kind of stiffened up. The drive that hurts the most, is the first drive in the third quarter after the Texans score a touchdown, after Deshaun Watson throws his first touchdown in the NFL. Your defense has to make a stop. There's no question. There's nothing to argue. There's no debate. The defense has to make a stop. If the defense makes the stop, we're midway in the third. The Texans get the ball back 19-7 in the middle of the third. Even if the Houston just get a field goal, you cutting the lead down to make it a 9-point game. If not, the Texans score a touchdown and make it a 5-point game. Like, you be going into the fourth quarter down by 5 or 9. That's legitimate enough with 15 minutes left in the game. That's legitimate enough time to come back and still lose the game and come back and get this win. But your defense has to make a stop. And the defense did not make a stop in the most crucial part of the game. That's what happened. So, to recap this, Deshaun Watson needs to be the starter. Dwayne Brown needs to get re-signed. That's actually probably the most important thing. And there's nothing we can do about A.J. Bouye now. A.J. Bouye is gone. Like, he's gone. There's no way to get him back unless you trade for him. And they're not trading for him because I think they might have the best secondary in the NFL. At the very least, one or two best cornerback tandem out of Al Ramsey and AJ. But all these concussions with Cushion, Fedorowicz, Griffin, I think Anderson also had a concussion, and Bruce Ellington had a concussion, but you're getting Strong back. I don't know if these guys are going to clear against Cincinnati. So I have a hard time picking Houston to beat Cincinnati. After the performance I seen, the offensive line, no Cincinnati. I know Wichita threw 4 picks, and they didn't get no points against Baltimore. But the way the offensive line played, can they protect Watson? Can they protect Savage? Can Savage protect himself by holding on to the ball? Can you run the ball? But more importantly, with all these injuries and concussions, they got to go through the concussion protocol. Will they be ready to play for Thursday? So then you're going to be down even more weaponless, down, like having no weapons. I still want to pick Houston to beat Cincinnati. If I had to throw a number out there, I say, I say 13-10. Remember, last year it was 12-10. So I'm not going to pick. That's a weird number to pick. I'm not going to pick 12-10. So 13-10, maybe Houston. But I'm really just I ain't going to lie. I'm mostly saying that because I'm a Texans fan. I want them to win. I have no real conviction in that pick. But that's what I'm going to roll with because I want them to win. But you got to bring those guys back, and you got to start Watson. That's just really what it is. You got to start Watson. You need to find a way to bring in Dwayne Brown. That's really what you got to do. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Comment below if you haven't clicked that bell to get more videos. I know it's been a while. Everything that's going on, especially with all these hurricanes and stuff. We're still Houston strong, you know what I'm saying? Still Houston strong, and they still going to put up for the city, hopefully. But I'm not going to be too much worried. Like I said, I wasn't even all that mad because everything that I've been hollering about came in fruition. About Dwayne Brown, about Deshaun Watson, about A.J. Bouye, about Leonard Fournette being possibly the best rookie in this division. I've been saying this for videos now. It just came true at the expense of my team. An embarrassment, and embarrassed the city, embarrassed the franchise because that was just a bad look. Very bad look. And everybody's watching because it's supposed to be Houston strong. Very, very bad, disappointing look. But they're going to get together. Remember, we weren't going to go 16. No, we already know that. So, hey, we're going to just take that one up to 10, take that L, and let's go ahead and get on. And if we win 5, 6 in a row or something like that, and still end up winning the division, it's all good and gravy. I'll holler.